WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 11.
Dozens gathering at the state capitol today wearing purple to honor victims of domestic violence. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. The color purple was the theme for advocates this afternoon for the 6th annual Purple Out Day at the Capitol. Taryn Simmons was there, and she's here for you now with why the group who organized the event is speaking up for those who can't.
Speaking up about intimate partner abuse isn't easy, and that's why advocates are helping victims plant a seed to bloom against violence.
A sea of purple at the state capitol as the group Voices of Color held its 6th annual Purple Out Day event, which is held every October during Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
If anybody comes up,
Organizer Tanisha Oz-Shakur says the rally brings people together to honor victims' journeys of escaping domestic violence and to remember those who didn't make it out.
Often we only relate domestic violence or intimate partner violence with physical abuse, and we want people to understand that there are so many dynamics to intimate partner violence, whether it be verbal or economic abuse.
Sherry Ware was one of dozens of people planting flowers to help bloom against violence because she was once a victim herself.
Couldn't wear certain things, I couldn't hang around certain people, and I couldn't go certain places, and it just got worse.
Ware says the abuse continued after she had her children, and then she knew she had to escape. And that courage to leave gave her the ability to help other victims by recognizing red flags in their partners.
If they're controlling you, isolating you from your friends and your family, telling you what you can, what you can't wear, and that they're always right underneath you.
This is essentially bringing joy and
Oz-Shakur says her work means so much to her because she was in an abusive relationship too, and now she does all she can to make sure that everyone knows love shouldn't hurt.
Domestic violence is an everybody issue. Oftentimes we don't want to talk about it, but I'm encouraging people to be part of the conversation.
Here for you in Lansing, Taryn Simmons, 6 News.
Thank you, Taryn. October isn't just about preventing domestic violence, it's also Fire Prevention Month. And that's why state health officials are telling people about a way they can protect themselves by not smoking or vaping. Health officials say smoking is the leading cause of deadly fires in Michigan and that it caused almost half of the fatal fires in 2024. Experts also say the lithium-ion batteries that often power e-cigarettes and vape pens can overheat, catch fire, and even explode. That's why they say quitting is a good idea, in addition to being better for your own personal health. A Jackson County jury says a man is not guilty of murder. That's according to our reporting partners at the Jackson Citizen Patriot. It stems from a drive-by shooting that happened back in June of 2024. 17-year-old Khalil Kalunga Rodriguez of Lansing was shot in the upper torso along the 400 block of Griswold Street. Police arrested and prosecutors charged Javion Hodge with the crime. But the CitPat reports that after 3 hours of deliberation, a jury found Hodge not guilty because he acted in self-defense. Meanwhile, over in Wayne County, prosecutors say they won't even charge a man who stabbed and killed someone because they also consider it a case of self-defense. It happened at a Kroger grocery store in Southgate on Tuesday. Prosecutors say the man who died, 23-year-old Ramon Vasquez, went into the store looking for a 33-year-old man from Riverview and started beating him up. Then, they say the 33-year-old who worked at the store pulled out a knife and stabbed Vasquez twice. The Kroger employee isn't completely out of the woods, though. Prosecutors did charge him with 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon. It's homecoming weekend at MSU, which is supposed to be a weekend of celebration, but the football team didn't give much reason for that today, losing to UCLA 38-13. The loss drops the team to 3-3 overall and 0-3 in the Big Ten. Delaney Rogers went out to see how Spartans are feeling about the outcome. Delaney, how are MSU fans holding up?
Rachel, not too good. Spartans are left feeling disappointed today after the loss against UCLA, especially on a weekend where thousands of alumni are back in East Lansing. One thing those I spoke with can all agree on is there is room for improvement.
Well, I'm looking forward to basketball, I suppose. I can always rely on that.
Spartans are feeling the loss against UCLA.
It was not a fun homecoming game.
Tony and Ethan had high hopes for this football game.
We could win this. We could win this. It's UCLA. You know, they're coming over here. They're in our house. They're 3-hour delay behind, jet lag. We could win this.
But after a 38-13 loss, they're feeling discouraged.
We suck. It's okay, though. It's okay. We're going to bounce back.
Disappointment was a common theme amongst MSU football fans.
Certain people will let it go that Michigan State can lose by 25 points to a pretty bad football team.
It's disappointing, but we know they have more as a team, and we hope to see it at the end of this season.
Pretty disappointed. Certainly not what we expected.
And people are wondering where it went wrong, starting with the coaches.
We were promised as the best coach for this particular coaching class. I just don't know if this is the best fit for us right now.
I know a lot of people are not happy with Jonathan Smith, myself included.
I know he has a lot more to offer, and he's got a lot of proof as a head coach, and we just hope to see it this season.
I'm not one to pass judgments on others, but I'll have to do it in this case, I suppose. He just doesn't seem to have the urgency.
And despite the loss, Spartans are still passionate about their team.
Really sold on him. Maybe hey, excuse me. Hey, you don't say that. Get out of here. Keep walking, buddy. I'm sorry about that. Sorry.
MSU Next takes on Indiana University next Saturday, and Spartans are hoping for a better outcome. Rachel, back to you.
Thank you, Delaney. Now, we are in the 11th day of a federal government shutdown with no end in sight. The House and Senate have both adjourned, most lawmakers have left Washington, and the White House started laying off federal workers on Friday. Those who remain won't get paychecks as expected this coming week. Both political parties are blaming each other for the shutdown as Democrats seek more money for health care. Of course, you won't have to worry about not getting a paycheck if you win the Mega Millions. That's because Tuesday's jackpot has now grown to $600 million. And that's after nobody won last night's $575 million jackpot. In fact, no one even matched the first 5 numbers from last night.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Even though we spent our Saturday bouncing in between partly cloudy to cloudy conditions across mid-Michigan, temperature-wise, it still was fairly typical compared to what we are used to seeing this time of year. Here's a look at some of our high temperatures that we saw across the area. Most of us topped out in the upper 50s to low 60s. In Lansing, we made it up to a high of 59 degrees. Similar numbers being reported in places like Mason, Charlotte, and over in Ionia. We made it into the low 60s in St. John's and Owasso. The warm spot, a high of 64 degrees reported over in Ann Arbor. Current temperatures haven't cooled down all that much from where our highs were. Currently, most of our readings sitting in the upper 40s to low 50s across the area. However, notice, as we pointed out before, there's a warmer air mass that we are eventually going to be able to tap into off to our west and southwest. Readings over towards Minneapolis in the low 60s. They're in the 70s still off to our southwest in portions of Nebraska, Kansas, extending down through Oklahoma and Texas as well. That warmer air mass will become a lot more apparent in our forecast as we move into our Sunday. Also, it will be sticking around as we move into early next week as well. In fact, overall, as we go throughout at least the next 6 to 10 days, yet again, Climate Prediction Center says our temperatures across the area are still going to be trending slightly warmer compared to what we are typically used to. So with our highs, that means for tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, we are going to be in the upper 60s to low 70s. Once we get past that, notice we're kind of going to be riding that temperature roller coaster. Overall highs will be trending above normal, but it does look like once we get past Monday, those 70s are going to be fairly hard to come by. The forecast for tonight, Precision Cast going to keep us generally quiet. However, with our overnight lows cooling down into the mid to low 40s, there is the potential that we could see a couple of patches of fog developing across the region as we kick off our Sunday. After that fog lifts, we're spending the day under mostly sunny skies. Cloud cover will begin to increase once we move into Monday. That's because there is going to be a very weak system trying to make its way into our region. However, notice most of the precipitation associated with it is going to be able to break apart before it even has a chance to make its way into the region. And we're holding on to these dry conditions likely as we go throughout the vast majority of next week. However, notice once we get into Friday of next week and the following weekend, rainfall chances are going to increase across the area as it does look like there is going to be a rather large area of low pressure stalling out across our region. Of course, that is good news for some because still we have moderate drought conditions expanding across most of mid-Michigan. Now, temperature-wise for tonight, as we mentioned, we're cooling down into the mid to low 40s, mostly clear skies, couple of patches of fog, not completely out of the question. For tomorrow, we are mostly sunny, high temperatures above average up to 69 degrees. We rise into the low 70s for Monday. Tuesday still going to be above average, and then take a look at Thursday morning's overnight low. We could be waking up to some patchy frost yet again, temperatures falling into the mid 30s by then. After that, those rain showers move in and that cooler air mass follows as well. The following work week, notice Wednesday and Thursday highs in the mid to upper 50s.